did close the windows last night, because if you didn't, it's feeling chilly in your room this morning. This is breaking weather. We're seeing snow that's falling here in downtown Columbia. This one's from Christie over in Chapin. Almost 3.5 inches of snow and ice. Here's the atmosphere where everything originally falls as snow. But here is the difference. This is an area of warm air. So here's a look at the satellite radar, the bigger perspective showing us that we are seeing plenty of moisture down toward the south and east. I mean, look at this. All of this moisture down to the south of Atlanta into parts of South Alabama. Seeing the nice white snow covering the area, but notice this. Notice that you hear the ice right below the snow. Because of some technical glitches that we have with the weather computer this morning, I decided to bust out the Weatherboard HD to tell you what. Here, 60 in Columbia, 60 in Rock Hill, 60 in Florence. I feel like a crab now. 64 degrees in Myrtle Beach, and we're seeing clouds moving through the area right now. It's a very cold morning, a very frigid 73 degrees out here.
It is very chilly out, absolutely. But that's okay. It's part of the season, isn't it?
Absolutely. As we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, I mean, of course, it's very important for us to enjoy this really frigid weather as we get ready for this parade. Welcome back to ABC Columbia News at Noon. I'm Jonathan O. Hope you're having a safe day wherever you are. Here's a look right now at our Storm Tracker Doppler radar in our dual polarization mode. What this tells us is what type of precipitation is falling in terms of its shape and also in terms of its consistency. So I want to zoom into the Midlands of South Carolina and give you a really close look at what is happening. Now, at the moment, this current perspective shows us what shape are these things falling in terms of the precipitation. And the closer the number is to zero, the more spherical it is. And so sleet is more of a ball, more of a sphere, as opposed to a raindrop, which is typically elongated sideways. And so because of that, we are seeing mainly sleet still here in the Midlands of South Carolina. Now, the question is, are we seeing any freezing rain in the area? Well, this particular vantage point, the correlation coefficient, showing us whether we're seeing a mixed precipitation situation or more of just sleet. And here in downtown Columbia, we are mainly just seeing sleet. The one indicates to us a consistent value of consistent precipitation rather than a mixed situation. So that's a good thing for Columbia for the moment, but for the south and eastern counties, you're seeing more of a mixed, more of a freezing rain situation. That is not a good thing right now. So folks, if you do not have to venture out, please stay indoors, and we cannot emphasize that enough. The roadways are becoming worse and worse as the time progresses, and we are continuing to see more of this mixed precipitation in this particular vantage point. What is happening is the cold air that was originally responsible for giving us a little bit of snow earlier today is now being pushed back by the warmer air coming in from the Gulf. The moisture is bringing warmth with it, and because of that, we are seeing the expansion of sleet into the northern counties and freezing rain into the southern counties, into the central Midlands. So as we go throughout the afternoon, this is going to be worse for us. And by the way, guess what? There's more rain where that came from. More moisture will be a part of our forecast as we go into tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. I know for us right now the weather is happening now with the winter weather, but for those of you who are saying we're sick of it, guess what? A reprieve is on the way. By the way, you can get your latest forecast on 97.5 WCOS in the Columbia area Clear Channel radio stations Thursday noon. That's around the time where I think the in terms of the pump of moisture gets shut off and departs from the area, allowing us to see a little bit of warmth. 50s by Friday with a late shower Friday evening. Then we'll see 60s by Sunday. And yes, sunny skies and warmth by next week. Andy, back to you. Good morning, Columbia. I'm Jonathan O reporting to you outside our studios at the corner of Main and Gervais. This is breaking weather. We're seeing snow that's falling here in downtown Columbia. It's great to see this. Unfortunately, that also means that we're going to be under winter weather for a little bit longer. But I think the good news is, as long as we're seeing snow, we're not going to see the freezing rain and sleet here in downtown Columbia. Now, if you are seeing something a little bit different in your area, please let me know. Send me in those pictures. I want to be able to share them with as many people as possible on what's happening right now. Now, my concern is, and I'm holding this piece of cloth because this was holding, actually covering the microphone out here as we were doing transitions between hits because of the freezing rain. It's still frozen. You can hear it crunch a little bit because it's still frozen, and that is our concern when it comes to the weather. We're going to be dealing with eventually, I think we're eventually, when the sun rises, we'll see the freezing rain. We're going to see the sleet return. Unfortunately, at that point, things get a little bit more serious. But at this point in time, the good news is as long as we're seeing the snow, it's going to help delay the icing that's over the area. So the power lines hopefully will be okay. The southern and eastern counties, I'm still concerned about you. You're probably seeing more of the sleet and freezing rain. Let me know if that is the case for you, but that's what the radar is indicating right now. But here in downtown Columbia, the concern mainly becomes road for now because I'm not seeing a lot of plows rolling through downtown Columbia. So as long as you are going to be out and about, which you should avoid, please be very careful because the roadways are now starting to get covered with a little bit of snow. In fact, Rich, do you want to show them real quickly what it looks like over on Main Street? You see already the snow is starting to cover the area. I see a car over there getting covered in the snow right as well. So, folks, nice to see the snow right now. This should hopefully delay at least the freezing rain and sleet for some time to come. And that's a look at what's happening out here. We'll have more Good Morning Columbia when we return in just a bit. Stay with us.
It's just too much fun. I had to be part of it.
Yes, we couldn't keep you inside.
Yeah, but because I'm old and lazy, so I had to bring the chairs.
I don't know why he brought the chairs out here, but guess what? It looks like we have like a set outside now.
Yeah, see, it looks official. It looks like we meant to do this.
Anyway, hey, good morning, Columbia. Yes, we are seeing snow in the area, and we will continue to see at least the mixed precipitation as we go throughout the morning hours. Don't forget this hat. Why am I wearing a hat? You're not wearing a hat. I don't need a hat either. Ah, there's the snow.
Always trying to be
yes,
like
we are going to see the snow falling here in Columbia, but please note that we are still going to look out for some freezing rain and sleet as we go throughout the daytime hours. Andy, it's a tough life being on the road all the time, visiting the various fairs to serve the fun food. But for one family, they're going to be preparing for something totally different after finishing up here. Every October, Dennis and Cheryl Reese bring their family down to the South Carolina State Fair to serve up turkey legs and donut burgers for thousands.
Between me and my brother-in-law and my father-in-law and his father-in-law, probably a little over 100 years we've been in the fair business.
A tough business with a grueling pace of setting up, tearing down, and countless hours of preparing food. A valuable skill set that lends itself to less festive but more important occasions, supporting first responders during natural disasters.
We got these huge kitchens, we feed them. We bring in sleep trailers, shower trailers, laundry trailers, the big generators, light towers, whatever they need for support.
When the fair ended last year, the Reeses got a call. Hurricane Sandy was on the way to New Jersey.
We actually beat that hurricane there 3 days before it actually hit, so we rode that one out. We was actually there in it.
Cheryl remembers how tough it was to see the aftermath.
Just like, oh my goodness, these people lost everything.
You just don't have a job, let's say cooking. If a light tower breaks down, you got to take it and get another one. If a tree falls, you got to get a chainsaw and cut it up. Nobody has a certain job in that, and it's just like it's real tight. Everybody's real tight, and it just works better that way.
Yet even in tragic situations, there are some lighter moments as well.
We decided we would do cheese and bacon grits, and all of the guys really loved it except for one. And I got really ripped. So after that, we don't do anything with the grits but put them out on the line, put cheese there and bacon if they want to add their own. So I've learned you do not mess with the grits, especially in the South.
One other interesting story that Cheryl tells me, she said the largest number of people served at one meal, 300, and they were all steaks over in Beaumont, Texas. That's a lot of steaks to be served at one time. But all in all, the Reese family continues to be doing this for many years to come. Very excited about not only serving folks at the fair, but also serving the first responders all across the country. Here's a look at the forecast. Fortunately, I don't think the Reeses will have to worry about the weather across the country, but it is a little bit cloudy out here at the South Carolina State Fair, but it's very pleasant as well. The rain is holding off right now. We are expecting temperatures to be in the mid-70s as we go throughout the afternoon, and as we go into the evening hours, I think the clouds are going to be staying with us as well. But a change is on the way tomorrow where we'll be seeing a chance followed by a big cool down for the last day of the South Carolina State Fair. We'll have a complete look at the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Andy, back to you in the studio.